Hola, comadres, and happy Tuesday. This is your Tuesday Pep Talk from Kathy. I am happy to be here with you all. I've met some new comadres in the past week. I had a great experience at the Women Empowered Conference at San Antonio College. So if you're one of the new comadres from there, hola, glad to have you with us. Today's topic is going to be focusing on all the loose pieces in our life that we need to pull together into a path forward. That's what I'm thinking about. Like today, one of my main jobs is to be working on a large grant proposal that's due this Friday that I just have loose ideas. And Cheryl and I have been talking about it, working on it, but it's kind of like this whiteboard full of blocks. It's a bunch of loose ideas and loose concepts, and just like, I don't even know how it's all gonna go together and what we're gonna end up doing. And so as we look at any plan we're making in our life, we've gotta look at all the loose parts. We've gotta look at all the variables. We've gotta look at what's going on in each area. If your goal is to go back to college, it's gonna take putting a lot of things together in order in a way that's going to make sense and in a way that's gonna get you to the goal. If your goal is to improve your health, it's going to take several steps. We can't just throw it all out there and act like it's going to work. You know, it would be the same as if we wanted to make like one of the projects I did this spring is I made a quilt for my granddaughter. I can't just throw all the fabric in a bag, shake it up, and think a quilt is going to come out, right? I had to go step by step, figure out what was first, make my design, get my plan, decide what I wanted, what I didn't want, and then stay persistent and work with it. So I'm trying to give myself a pep talk this week about getting this grant proposal together, because right now it's a lot of loose parts in my head. And whatever you have, if you want to get your house in order, if you want to declutter, if you're looking to build stronger relationships with your children, with your family members, if you're looking to advance in your role at your job, there's a lot of just loose pieces that we have to start looking at. How am I going to bring this together into a way that makes sense? So the big thing that helps me when I'm trying to get started on a goal and figuring out how do I put any of this together into anything that makes sense is I'm going to remember my why. I'm going to look at, why do I want to do this? What is it? How do we begin with the end in mind? What do I want the results to be? So if I'm thinking about a health goal, I'm going to look at, how do I visualize my future when I've done all the steps that are needed to reach that goal? In writing a grant proposal, what do I visualize these funds providing for our families in our community that's going to improve their lives and make sense of a lot of loose pieces? So it's beginning with the end in mind is one of the things that we have to look at. And one of the other ones is, what are the steps that I'm going to need? You know, what are the pieces that I'm going to need to put together? What are the resources? Who are the people? How am I going to connect somehow in the community? And I've got to try different things. And sometimes they're going to go together and sometimes they're not going to go together in a way that makes sense. I might be like, well, I was going to do that, but you know what? I changed my mind. I might be trying out different people, different resources, different facts, different connections. I might listen to podcasts to help me with a goal that I have. There's all kinds of things that I may want to do to build my skills, to build my knowledge, and to help me move forward. I'm going to have to connect, and I don't know how it's going to come out. I'm just going to work on it little by little, whatever goal I have. And so this seems really random, but at the same time, I'm looking at this one. I'm like, is this going to get me to my goal? No, that's not really going to get me there. And I don't have to know exactly how it's going to come out to know that I'm putting effort into working on it. And sometimes I may have to make adjustments. I might be like, no, that's not working. Let's adjust everything. And then we're going to add in this other thought, this other belief, this other practice. Last week, I did a talk at the Women Empowered Center, and it was called Follow Your Dreams and Ditch Your Haters. And the goal of the talk was for us to tune in to what is important to us. If it's important to me that I get this part of my life in balance, then I'm going to take action. I'm going to take steps to do that. And whoever is trying to undo what I'm doing, I'm no longer going to give them emotional real estate. I'm no longer going to listen to them. I may have to be like, okay, I tried this, it didn't work. let me start coming up with some other concepts, some other techniques, and get some new resources. Sometimes we're like, ooh, this podcast is really helping me. And then after a while, we're like, it's not speaking to me. This book is all that. Maybe I have a different thought. I have a different feeling about it. I have to be willing to not know. I have to be willing to be in the unknown. And, starting any proposal or any life goal, we're starting in the unknown, aren't we? We don't know how it's going to come out, but the reality is that we have the opportunity to use trial and error, to try different things, to focus on what is it that's going to get me where I need to go, and do I have to know the end right now? And it might sound like I made a contradiction. Have the end in mind and also don't know where you're going. That sounds kind of weird, but what I'm looking at is what is my internal goal, not just how it's going to look. What is my internal goal? How do I want to feel about this accomplishment as I move towards accomplishing it? Whether it is, like I said, a fitness goal, a financial goal, a personal goal, an educational goal, a spiritual goal, whatever it is that we're working to reach, it's going to take step by step, trial and error, and the biggest thing is persistence. Sometimes we feel like we lack resources. Well, I don't have. Like, what if I've used up every block I have? No, I haven't yet. There's still resources out there that I haven't even tried. And that's what I want us to remember. There are resources out there that we have not even tapped into. So if we start and we're like, I don't have what it takes, it's time to start collecting and looking and building. And so whatever your project and your process will look like, the biggest project you will ever work on is you. The biggest difference you will ever make for anyone's life is in your own life. So I challenge you today, comadres, look at what's available to you, start seeking resources, take some time to think, take some time to set yourself in line to reach the goals that you want to have. And it's going to take time, it's going to take effort, and there will be detours. There will be times you don't have the resources you need. There will be times when it made sense to you, and all of a sudden it doesn't make sense at all. So we're going to have to be willing to regroup, to rethink, to reflect, and just keep going. That's the deal. Hope to see you on Zoom on Wednesday evening. We'll be there. Jump in anytime between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. And in the meantime, remember that your life plan is all up to you, but you don't have to do it alone.